Hello and welcome to Sarah Overbooked. I am Sarah and today I'm going to go over a few of the books that I read in the month of October. I was doing weekly updates, but it was not going so well, so hopefully, still being new to YouTube, changing things around a bit, I'm going to try to do every 4 books I read. So these are the first 4 books I read for the Trick-or-Tratathon. The first book I read was Charlotte's Web, and I read this. If you know about the Trick-or-Treat-a-thon or not, it's a bingo style readathon where you make your own bingo card they give you a list of prompts, you make your own bingo card, and this one was for cobwebs or spider on the cover or in the title. I'd never read Charlotte's Web before. I had seen the cartoon and I really liked it when I was a kid, so I figured I might as well read the book. This book is obviously for young children. It was a good story for young kids. Here's the kitty. Quick read to kick off the readathon. It was just a good story. As an adult, I wouldn't recommend, go out and read it. But if you have kids, yeah, it's good for them. The second book I read, I read this, if you saw my TBR, I switched for what I read this for because you have to finish one bingo board before you can move on to the other. I decided a small, quick ghost story would help kick off the readathon, just like with Charlotte's Web. So I read this for Apple on the cover or in the title, The Apple Tree by Daphne du Maurier, a ghost story for Christmas, and because it is just a short story, all I'm going to tell you is it's a story about a farmer whose wife dies and weird things start occurring with one of the apple trees in his yard, and that's about all I'm going to say. It was a quick read, obviously. It's only, I believe, 124 pages, and it's obviously small. So, quick read for anybody that needs something quick to read or just likes short stories. It was good. I'm not a short story person, but it was a good story. Kept you entertained. Was it really scary? No, but it was entertaining. The next one I read was another short one. I was trying to do a read 3 books in a day challenge and managed it with these first 4. This is Come Closer by Sarah Gran. This book was for author or character with your same name. Spelling doesn't matter. So I read this for that prompt. This is a possession story that I had heard a lot of really good things about. It's different. It wasn't bad. Don't take that comment as I thought it was bad. It was definitely interesting. It was from the point of view of the character that was being possessed, and she was trying to figure out if she was being possessed or not. It's not my favorite because you didn't really get a lot of the horror. I think I went into it expecting too much, and so it was kind of disappointing. That's why I try to go into a lot of books without knowing too much, because too high of expectations, lots of things just can't hit that point. And I think that's what happened here. It wasn't a bad book by far, but I was expecting it to be much better. The main character was trying to figure out what was wrong with her. She was acting weird. She was doing things that she didn't know why she was doing. And then she was trying to figure out, is she possessed or is she not possessed? It just didn't have the punch I was expecting and wanting from the book. And like I said, it's mostly, I think, because I had heard such good things about this book. I was expecting better or more. It's more horror. It definitely wasn't scary to me. It was more of a mystery, more of the main character just trying to figure something out. Not really horrific. I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that would disagree with that, but that's why we have different channels, so you can get everybody's opinion. And the fourth book I read for the readathon and in the month of October was The Long Way Down by Jason Reynolds. This one I read for not only my book club for October, but also for the found footage prompt, which is read a book of poetry, mixed media, short stories, or anthology, graphic novel, or manga. This is written in verse, so I figured it counted. Long Way Down is the story of Will's, I'd say probably 12 hours at the most after his brother Sean gets shot in the neighborhood. Will is trying to follow the rules of the neighborhood. Rule number 1, don't cry. Rule number 2, don't talk. Rule number 3, get revenge. It's the rules of the neighborhood. It's the rules of how everything has gone for years and years, and nobody really knows why. So when Will thinks he knows who shot his brother, and he starts to go down and exact rule number 3 on the elevator. He's on the 8th floor, and it stops on every floor on his way down. This book goes through 2 minutes of his life, I believe. The majority of the book, it's just the elevator ride. Yeah, it's at 9:08 in the morning to 9:10 in the morning. And every floor somebody gets on, somebody that Will knows, or knows Will. Everybody that gets on is dead. And it's a story of the neighborhood, the rules, and basically, are the rules really that good? Are the rules really, should they be followed? It was good. I liked it. The author, Jason Reynolds, when he was growing up, and also he spends a lot of time with juveniles in detention centers, and a lot of the kids in there, he says, can't tell him why they did what they did, but that's just how it's done in where they come from. So it's the story of conforming to the rules even though you don't know what those rules really mean and why. I liked it. Obviously it's a quick read, it's all in verse. Lots of the pages there's hardly anything on them. I would recommend this to pretty much anyone. It's a ghost story for October. It's a good story to learn about certain ways that things are done. So those were the first 4 books that I read in October, and the 4 prompts that I read them for the Trick-or-Tratathon. I am going forward. I will try to do every 4 books, which means I'll have another one coming out real quick because I've already read more than 8 books for October. But hopefully that'll actually make it so that I have a set time to do the videos, and then I actually sit down and do the videos and put them out. Also, there is a poll on my community page on how I should do my November TBR, either pulling straight out of my TBR jar or playing a game to figure out what I should read. Go and vote for that, and I will see you next time.